Good afternoon, everybody. I'm sorry I missed you last week, but I was at the beach doing beachy things and it was delightful. Anyway, so here we are, 7 school days before our Thanksgiving break. And just so you will know, the work for this week is all that I will post until after Thanksgiving. And you are welcome. So, a couple of things that I wanted to share with you. There were a number of you who were really insecure about an annotated bibliography. And so when you're looking at the assignment, I put in your last bullet, if you don't know what an annotated bibliography is, look here. I don't think a lot of you clicked here, which is okay. I understand. We're getting close to Thanksgiving, which means we're close to Christmas, which means we are almost done. And I understand that. But I do like Purdue OWL, just so you'll know. And one of the things that Purdue OWL does really well is teach you about citations and writing. That's kind of their forte. Okay, so here you've got a MLA overview and workshop, MLA formatting and style guide, which I use quite a bit. Okay, so what I recommend that you do next time you have a question about something, whether it's for my class or maybe another online class you're taking, go out and do a little research on it first, okay? Because a lot of times that's kind of the key, okay? Just going out and figuring it out. But I was glad that I was able to introduce a lot of you to something new. I have quite a number of students in my face-to-face classes who tell me that their teachers will accept a list of websites as a works cited page, and that is not going to cut it in college. Okay, I haven't spoken to any college teachers or professors who say that's an acceptable form of works cited pages. So sometimes you have to do an annotated bibliography where you give a little summary of the source, and sometimes you are just doing just a basic rundown of your sources without the paragraph annotation. Now, some teachers don't like EasyBib, which I understand why. Okay, completely get it. But it's a quick way to learn how to do a bibliography. So that's all we're going to say about that. Let's jump into this week. So by the time you go home for Thanksgiving on Tuesday, not this coming up Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, I don't know the date, sorry. Let's see, maybe it is November 26th, okay? You should have completed week 13 module. And this poem for two voices is due on that Monday. And so that gives you, those of you who, kind of get behind sometimes, that gives you an extra day. All right. I've given you a sample here of the poem for two voices. I want you to notice that there's a couple ways to do that, and you can look up, you could just Google poem for two voices and see some different formats. Okay, sorry. It says Batman, I am Batman, and then offset from that, not on the same line, you have I am the Joker. Then I am a hero, I am a villain. And then together they say I have secrets. Now another way to do that is here. You have the we have secrets in the middle. So you'd have like a 3-column poem. There, like I said, just look it up. There's a lot of different ways to do this. But you will be writing a poem for two voices comparing the viewpoints of victims of two of America's most famous witch hunts. So on one side, you will have a character from the Crucible, and on the other side, you will have a person from the McCarthy witch hunts of the 1950s. Okay? That will be the last assignment you turn in before Thanksgiving. One of the most important things I need for you to do is a second marking period grade review. I need for you to look at each individual assignment and compare what is posted in PowerSchool. I need for you to tell me things look good, or I need for you to tell me things look bad. I need for you to say, I have a question about this assignment. I'm not sure why I got this grade. Whatever the problem is, we need to handle it Monday. All right. So please make sure that's done Monday, Tuesday at the latest, so I can get my grades in on time. This week, you have a nonfiction practice with Arthur Miller summary. For those of you who are, you're good thinkers, Arthur Miller is the author of The Crucible. And so you'll be reading Why I Wrote The Crucible from the New Yorker. And you're going to do these 3 questions for your summary. So I'm asking you to do summary a little different than previously. And then you have character motivation in The Crucible. So you're going to be, this is the assignment that you had last week. I just moved it up to this week. So please go through that. Here we are. Your Miller quiz. There are 2 parts. You have multiple choice questions that link out to a form. And then you also have the constructed response that you would write when you click submit assignment. Okay, so 2 parts. Please make sure that you do both parts. Last week, some of you, in the paradox and dream, some of you just did the multiple choice. You didn't do the constructed response, or back and forth. And then you are going to just do a differences assignment. Just look at this list. This is a list of fact versus fiction. For those of you who don't know, The Crucible is not what happened in the Salem witch trials. All right. I'll post a couple of follow-up videos about that a little bit later. But you get down to these bullets. You don't have to read this whole website. You get down to the bullets, and this is the differences between what really happened in Salem, in the Salem witch trials, and what Arthur Miller wrote about in The Crucible. Remember, Arthur Miller's goal in The Crucible is to kind of on the sneaky sneak say that the government was doing the wrong thing. But he couldn't actually come out and say, hey, the government's doing the wrong thing, because everybody was afraid of being called a communist. It was the Red Scare, all right? Y'all have heard about this in your U.S. history classes, all right? If you haven't heard about it yet, you should be getting to it pretty soon. It's a pretty big deal in America. It was like all of the whole idea of freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, all of that stuff just kind of went out the door simply because we were in this post-World War II, everybody's afraid of communist Russia. And Joseph McCarthy, which is where we get McCarthyism, he spawned this fear. Anyway, we'll get a little follow-up information about that. I'll actually post that as the last item in this module for you so that you can just do a little bit of follow-up. All right? Y'all have a great week. And if I don't talk to you beforehand, happy Thanksgiving. I hope the great turkey is good to each and every one of you, and you have safe travels if you're traveling, and you have wonderful, full, happy, fat tummies on Thursday, and that you get to spend some time with your family and your friends. All right? See you soon.